Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you some Excel tips and tricks that we can use while running it through the Power Automate. Basically, this is not, I will say, the production grade solution, but this is something that I was using quite a long time ago. So just wanted to showcase some things for you. So generally, this use case applies to wherever we are using Power Automate and where we have to use the Excel. Okay. So a couple of things that I have taken as a use case. So I have the Excel sheet that has over 50,000 rows and almost, let's say, 10 to 12 columns. Okay. So this is just a demo data I downloaded from a website. So this is not the real estate data anymore. The thing is, we know that we have the action in the Power Automate as well. So if we go here and if we search for the Excel online, we get a couple of actions, right? To list row, present in a table, worksheet, and everything. But what if the data we already have in the Excel, if you want to do some kind of validation, right? If you want to check the duplicate records, the total row count, or let's say if you want to validate some kind of data, right? The first thing what we have to do is we have to get it first and then we have to validate manually using some, let's say I want to do a email validation. I will get that data, pass it to the regular expression in Power Automate using regex. Okay. So then this is the thing. But in the Excel sheet, we have an option to uh, run some scripts as well. So if we go in the Excel, probably some of you already know this or not, but this is something that I have observed. Okay. In the automate, we have this option. Like I saw this multiple time previously, but I really didn't know what these options are. So basically, these are the TypeScript or Office script, we can say, that we can use to run some operation inside that Excel. That can be a table, that can be a specific sheet, or the multiple sheets. Okay. So the thing that I have checked online and everything, we can use a Office script that is called a VB script as well, or we can use a TypeScript. So I'm a React guy. I know the TypeScript and everything, but this is not something that I have written manually. Okay, like obviously I use the Claude only to generate the scripts. So the idea is I wanted to show you three use cases. The first is data type validation, second is duplicate row detection, and third is find out the missing rows. Right. So generally, if you do these actions like data type validations, right? So when I say data type validation, that means let's say we have the email. So that email must be in the email format only, right? So as you can see, everyone has the username at the rate and the domain name. But if we take a look at that, this one, it doesn't have that kind of syntax, right? So this kind of we say in a technology like dirty data, right? We have in the Excel. If we want to validate this kind of thing, and not only the single column, we can validate the multiple column as well. Then the second thing is if we want to check out the missing rows, how many missing rows are there, right? I know we can apply a filter using list row present in action table to filter out the missing rows. But what if we use a script for that, right? What kind of data we get, right? Because I want to show the user from this row which columns are missing, right? That kind of thing. And the last one is duplicate rows. So the script is written in such a way that we can specify a column. Let's say email ID is there. I can input it. So when the script runs, it will check all the email column. It will find out whatever the duplicates are and it will return the row count. Sorry, the row number actually. Okay. We can specify multiple column as well. So this is the thing. Let's jump to demo directly. But before that, I will show you where you have to write the script. So in the Excel, you have to click on automate. Here we have option called new script and you can click on create in a code editor. Okay. So here you see this is a JavaScript only. This you write the code. Once you save this, this will get stored in your OneDrive. So I will show you in the OneDrive where it is storing. Okay. In the OneDrive, you have the documents folder. In that you have the Office script. And this is something that you don't have to do it manually. As soon as you save that script, or in future if you make any updates, it will get saved automatically. Okay, so these scripts will be written here. Now I have written a couple of script. I'm not going to explain the line by line code. Okay, so let's take a look at how it is. Okay, so here we have the comments. So basically that's nothing but a JavaScript function where first we are checking the workbook, that get worksheet, right? So these are the functions. I will share the list of documentation with you as well, but I'm sure you will not read it properly, right? Like from the scratch. Obviously, we'll use some chat GPT and everything to get this. But if you want to know what these functions are, I will just share the documentations. Okay. So as far as I know, these are some functions, the get worksheets, table dot get range, right? So associated with the Excel. Then when the script run, it will return the result. Now, when it comes to running a script, we have the option in Power Automate. So if you add an action and if you search for run a script, there are two options, run a script or from the SharePoint library. I will select SharePoint library because it will allows us to select the script location, which workbook you would like to do and everything. Okay. So this is that action that has the workbook location, that is nothing but where your Excel is stored, library and the workbook. Okay, this is for the this first three will be for the your actual Excel. The next three will be your script, because it is not mandatory to have that script stored in the same SharePoint library. You can store that script in a separate location as well. But the only thing you have to take care is, if you are creating this Power Automate and if this script is going to use by the multiple people or multiple workflow, make sure that script is accessible to every one of them. If you store it in your personal OneDrive, people will not have access to it unless and until you will share it. Okay. Right now, it is just me doing some kind of POCs here. So I kept it as a OneDrive for now. But you can select a SharePoint library, folder, etc. So once you save that script, you just have to pick it from the folder picker here, like just select documents, office script, and then you can select proper script that you want to run. The options you see here, these are not from this action. These are the input parameter that I have written in the code that I want user to put it down. So the first is script is data validator. That is nothing but to validate some kind of data. So the input parameter is sheet name, table name. So here, if you go here, this is my name. And in that, this is my table name. Then these are the column rule. Okay. Now the left is the column name, right is the actual data type name. Okay. So it is confusing because both name are same. So I will tell you what it is. So this is the column name. Then I have put the data type as a email. Okay. The max detail or chunk size. So chunk size is something that when Excel perform the script operation and everything, as per documentation, it can read up to 5 MB of data in a single call. It is not a fixed limit like how many rows and how many columns as far as I read the document and everything. So that means if I have an Excel sheet that has, let's say, 50 columns, so I may hit that limit in just 100 or 500 rows. Okay. But if I have the Excel sheet that only has the 3 to 4 column and I have, let's say, 50,000, 100,000 rows, right? I will not that hit limit, right? Because the limit is about the data size, not the number of rows and number of columns, right? I think in the Excel we can store up to million rows. Okay, probably the number is quite a higher than million. Okay, so that's the limitation. So in this document it is clearly explained. I will share this link in the description as well. So now this is the detail rows and chunk size, and here I have taken a compose. Only thing is I am just putting the result here. Then the second script I have is duplicate rows. So again, all the first 6 to 7 things are same, The only difference is here is the parameter. Like here, what I added is I want to filter out, sorry, I want to check first name, last name, and email for the duplicates. So if any rows matching all the three conditions will get added here. Okay. And the last is find out the missing rows. That has the everything, table name, maximum rows, and the chunk size. Okay. So now when I run this script, it's not going to take like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It will do it in like within a 10 seconds. Okay. The data validation, duplicate row detection, and everything. Okay. So see, the data validation, it did in almost 10 seconds, duplicate row in 6 seconds, and missing rows it found within, let's say, 10 or 6 seconds only. Okay. And the data you see here, I have over, see, I have over 50,000 entries and almost 10 to 12 columns. Okay. So now you can think of, if you do this manually, this kind of operation, how much time it will take it for you to check and validate those things, right? Now let's take a look at the output. The first is data validator. So this is the output, and see, the output is something that you can completely configure in your code itself, whatever the JSON format you needed. Okay. So total rows are 50,000. Let me zoom in. Rules applied, emails, then column with summary. There is only one failure it found in the row. So if we go here, and if you see this, okay, this is not a proper email. So it found out a proper thing. Again, the row count is mismatching, plus because the header is the first row, it should be whatever the row is plus one. Okay. We can ignore this part. But the thing here is whatever the column is, whatever the rule is applied, and whatever value it is. Okay. So currently I have just kept it 1. So if I change multiple email, it will call every email out. Okay. Now let's go to the next thing, is a duplicate detection. Now it must have some lot of records. Okay. So here you see this is a JSON it written. Duplicate record is over 9,000. Duplicate rows are 4,999, and these are the groups. Okay. So see, now I have given three keys: the first name, last name, and email. So the first is Charles Green, and this is the email ID. So it found there are total 5 rows with this email ID, name, and this. Okay. Now let's go to our data and let's filter it out. So I'll select Charles. Okay. And then Green, and the email is Hotmail. Okay. See, there are 5 duplicate records found matching all the three conditions. And the same goes with others. Okay. So see how long this JSON is. Okay. And the third thing, find out the missing rows. So for this one, total rows 50,000. There are total 89 rows that have the missing information. And these are the column summary, like how many columns, like the first column is first name. 6 rows are missing the first name. 24 rows are there missing the last name. This is just a high level summary. But if you scroll down, it gives us a complete format. Row 21 is missing industry. Row 23 is missing birth date and title. Let's look at that. So if I scroll here, row 23, I think it's 24, 23 plus 1. Okay. So it is missing birth date and title. See, now there was one another row, uh, 21, like that means 22, that is missing industry. So if we go here, 22, see, industry is missing. Okay. So this kind of data it is also returning, and it is not returning the very like first 100 or 200. in the last rows as well, I have deleted some records. So if I scroll down, you should see the last column, it is also taking in the knowledge. So if I scroll down to 50,000, see, these all those are missing. So from it 4,991 to 4,999, almost 50,000. See, we have all these columns that are missing all the data. Okay. So this is the thing that I wanted to show you. Like this can be performance improvement we can say in the Power Automate as well when you are running with Excel actions, because I know in the Excel currently we do have like we can get the worksheets, get a list row present in a table, right? But this is the most powerful way I thought that we can use. But before using that, you must check the official documentation. What are the limits? So whatever limits are there, I told you like in a high level. But yes, there may be some of the limit depending on what functions that are using. Okay. But yeah, the data limits is something that you have to take care of, and this is not something that you can manage. We can do batching, like in just like in SharePoint, we can get up to 5,000 rows in a single call, right? So we do have the APIs for that to get the next page link. So we hit that API until and unless we get all the result. So I'm thinking same thing should be there in Excel, like batching and everything. But yeah, you have to check with the documentation. But yes, if you have any questions or doubt, or you have any thoughts on this, if you worked on this script before and you have faced some kind of limitation, please feel free to share in the comments as well. Thank you.